The new $500 monthly check program just announced. Also, the votes are in and the bill has passed. And a stimulus package update in regards to what Nancy Pelosi recently said. And lastly, what an advisor to the administration just said about the low income. I have all the details for you in this video, so let's get into it right now. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and so I can be here for you right by your side every single day as your one and only daily advocate, keeping you updated every single day with all of these changes that continue happening every single day. I know it's a struggle out there, unlike some people, Congress, by the way. I totally get it. I see the comments down below, and I know that it's a really tough time, and I'm very much committed and dedicated to helping out everyone in this community in any way that I possibly can, which, by the way, this community is all about you. Without you here, honestly, the community would be absolutely nothing. So thank you so much for being part of it. I truly do appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into the update. All right, so we have a lot to talk about, so let's buzz through these one at a time. Let's quickly talk about this interview that just went down with this advisor to the administration. So this person is Jared Bernstein. Now, he was out talking about inflation and how it is absolutely crushing the low income. Now, again, this is no newsflash to us. I think all of us in this community are very aware how this inflation is really eating us alive right now with everything going on. Prices continue to rise so incredibly rapidly. Incomes are staying the same. Therefore, we can all see how this equation is going to lay out, right? Income is staying the same. Prices are getting away from us. What does that mean? Yeah, we can't keep up. No news flash here, right? We all recognize this. However, the interview went on, and they continued on to say that the administration is doing everything they can to alleviate some of the supply chain issues as well as this inflation. Well, I kind of scratched my head a little bit after that, and I thought, really? Everything? Seriously? Everything is going to be going on with the administration right now to lower inflation and help with the supply chain? I'm sorry, but if everything was being done, there would already be a solution. So, I don't really agree that everything is being done quite yet, but at least maybe they are actually working on it, and maybe we'll come up with a solution here sometime soon, whether it means actually figuring out the inflation issues or the supply chain issues, or even better, getting money into the pockets of the people who actually need it, because let's be real. If we had two options right now, option number one, get money into the pockets of the people who are being crushed the most right now by inflation, or option number two, wait for inflation to come down. What would be a better option? I think all of us know the answer to that. Getting money into the pockets of the low income and the fixed income who are struggling right now would be the fastest and easiest way to combat this, simply because you can get money out into the pockets and into the bank accounts of people very fast. Whereas bringing inflation down, honestly, it's going to take a long time. 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 12 months. It's going to take for them to bring inflation down to reasonable levels. It's going to take a very long time. It's not like they can push a button and say, okay, done. We're all fixed up. Inflation is down at normal 2% where it's supposed to be, and we're all good to go. No, unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way. It takes a very long time to bring inflation down. However, sending money out to the people literally could be pushing a button and boom, hello, you just got some money in your bank account, right? So it literally could be that fast. So I think the answer is very clear what needs to be done here. And again, we've talked about this so many times, and I think all of us here agree that yes, money, please send us some right away, right? So anyway, I'll keep you posted on that. Also, let's quickly talk about the vote that just went down in the House of Representatives today that passed. In fact, I talked about this in my video this morning. Now, this is the new bill that just kind of snuck out of nowhere. It's called the Competes Act. So this was actually held for a vote in the House of Representatives today, and yes, it did pass. I'll tell you the numbers on it. It voted, well, the vote, obviously, they voted on it, and the vote came down 222 over 210. So it voted, it passed by a little margin. Not a huge one, but it did pass nonetheless. And now it goes on to the Senate, and they'll be doing their thing over there. Whether they actually get it done or not, who knows? The Senate is always a wild card, but I wanted to give you a quick update on that. Now, this one you might be wondering, okay, what does this really mean? What does this bill contain? What's in it for us? Honestly, this whole bill, the whole purpose behind it is basically The whole deal with like China right now and the whole competition between the countries and like, prices and stuff like that and the chips and inflation and all kinds of stuff like this. So basically it just helps us out here to hopefully alleviate some of the supply chain issues. So again, there's not really much in there for us right now, but rather maybe it'll alleviate some of the supply chain stuff, which will ultimately lead to lower prices, hopefully someday within the next, I don't know, decade or so. Again, so that's just the latest update, but I wanted to bring that to you since I talked about it earlier this morning. Just wanted to give you that last update since it did actually technically pass the House of Representatives today. All right, let's quickly talk about Nancy Pelosi here and what she recently said about the Build Back Better agenda. She said that she will not be giving up on the Build Back Better agenda. Well, sorry, Nancy Pelosi, but newsflash, Joe Manchin has said it's done, it's over, game over, sorry, it's not happening. So I'm not sure if Nancy Pelosi is going to ride that sinking ship down or what she's going to do, but at this point, it's not happening. The Build Back Better agenda anyway. However, we do recognize that they are working on a skinny version of the bill, right? So we talked about this earlier as well. They are working on this skinnier version, and Joe Manchin is open to negotiations and figuring out who wants to come to the table, who wants to talk. Let's negotiate. Let's get this thing done. Let's do it. But Joe Manchin said the Build Back Better agenda in its current iteration, the one that was passed through the House, as in Nancy Pelosi's bill, it's not happening. So, but I think what basically Nancy Pelosi was basically saying with her statement was rather than she's going to ride that thing down, is essentially she's just basically saying that she's going to continue on with all these provisions and doing whatever she can to get as many of these resurrected and actually saved within the bill. So I think that's what she probably meant, was that she's going to fight and try to get as many of these provisions in the bill as she possibly can, but rather kind of sticking to the whole $2.2 trillion package and saying it's all or nothing. I think she's more reasonable than that. Maybe. I'm not really sure. But anyway, we'll have to see what happens with Nancy. But she did talk about a few things that are in there that are very important to her, which again are very important to a lot of lawmakers. And of course, I'll continue watching it as I do everything else. But Nancy Pelosi, along with so many other people, will continue working on this package. And again, what is this skinny bill going to contain? We don't know yet. We don't know all the provisions yet, but they do know that they want to bring that thing down from the current range of about $2.2 trillion, probably more about a little over $1 trillion, in accordance with some information that I found last week that we talked about. So I'll keep you posted on that. All right, let's quickly talk about this new $500 monthly check program that was just announced. Now, one quick preface before I tell you about this. As I mentioned in previous videos, as I talk about these programs, these are guaranteed basic income programs that are popping up all around the country. Sometimes they pop up in your neighborhood, sometimes they pop up in your state, sometimes they pop up across the entire country. My point is, these are coming up all across the country right now. They're going to encompass some people, and sometimes they're not. So if this does not encompass where you're located, please don't be upset with me. I'm just doing what I can to give you the information and hopefully let you know about some of these programs as they end up in your backyard. But here's what's interesting. This new one just was announced in Philadelphia. So if you're in Philly, you might want to watch out for this one. Now, here's the parameters on this one. It is a $500, no strings attached, monthly payment that is going to be starting in March. Now, how can you apply? The cool thing about this one, you don't need to apply. They will automatically choose people who are low income in Philadelphia, and they will get in contact with you, and they will tell you, hey, winner, winner, you are now eligible for the $500 monthly check program that will be starting in that city here in, about a month, actually. They said March. Honestly, I'm not sure when. March 1st, I'm not sure. They did not give a specific date, so they just said in March. But it's a $500 no strings attached payment. I did not see a timeline on this one. Usually they say it's for 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, something like that. I did not see a timeline. Maybe I just overlooked it, but honestly, I did not see a timeline. But either way, even if it's 12 months, hey, that's $6,000 that you'd be getting in your pocket over the course of 12 months. So pretty cool stuff, right? But again, these programs are popping up all over the country. In fact, about 3 weeks ago or so, there was a new one of these that popped up in Washington, D.C., $900 for those people in D.C. So again, just another one of these programs. But another thing too, remember last year, I was coming back to you probably twice a week with 2 of these new programs every single week. Honestly, this year, it's been a little bit slow. So I've only seen a small handful of these programs popping up so far this year in 2022. But again, these are a couple of them so far. And I would imagine There'll be far more of these programs popping up, especially now that the states are coming out with their new budgets for the year and they're starting to figure out how much money they have sitting on the books. States have a ton of money right now. And what are they doing with that money? They're sending it out in the form of these guaranteed basic income programs as well as in tax rebates. So now that we're in tax season right now, stay tuned. There's a lot of states that are coming out right now. In fact, I believe the count is maybe around 10 or so states have already come out announcing that they're going to be giving money back to their residents in the form of a tax rebate this year. So stay tuned on that. I can always compile a list of those states coming out, but I know that I've seen probably 8, maybe 10, maybe a few more than that of states that are coming out right now with different tax rebates because they have so much money sitting on the books right now, billions and billions of dollars, and they're giving a little scrap back of it back to the people. So yes, and I meant to say a little scrap because honestly, they have so much money sitting on the books right now and they're giving back a teeny tiny portion of it. So I don't know. When I see stuff like that, it kind of bothers me because I feel like they have so much money sitting there and they have no idea what to do with it. And I feel like, give it to the people. Seriously, give it to the people. They're struggling. Why not hand it out right now? So anyway, some of the states are doing that, but the amount of money that they're sending out is very small, but at least it's something. It's better than nothing, I can tell you that much, right? $100, $150, $200 is certainly better than zero. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on that as we get more details on all these states that are sending out money in the form of a rebate check, otherwise kind of known as like, it's kind of like a little stimulus check. Not really, but kind of. Same thing on the state level. Very small, but I can keep you posted on that. So hope this update helps you out. Again, I will keep you posted with any new details on anything that comes out. So if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's totally free to do so. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be with all of these updates every single day. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe. Go back and check out any of the other 2,100 videos right here on the channel. Share them with your friends, family, social media. And of course, feel free to do whatever else you want. I don't know what else I was going to say. So, yeah, we'll leave it there. So with that being said, let's bring Corey in, and she will read that new updated list of shoutouts for the names that are pulled right out of the fan club. If you want to check that out, there's a link down below in the description. Feel free to check it out there if you want to join the list for shoutouts right here in our videos. So, enough out of me for now, and have Corey come in right here, right now, and she will read that new updated list. So, Corey, take it away. Thanks again for watching this, and I'll catch you again in a little while with the next update. I'll see you for now, and I'll see you soon. See ya.
We are shouting out Donna Rand, April Mullion, Linda Burns, Annette Moten, Lillian Allendale, Lucindy Baker, and Mindy Fuller. Thank you for being members of the fan club.